Hello everybody and welcome to another knockoff review. In today's video, thanks to the team at TF Direct, we're taking a look at the second offering from Fantasy Jewel as part of their Voltron wave. This is the FJ B5W02? BSW02? It's the Green Lion. We are now 2 out of 5 lions down. Let's take a look at the accessories. We have our firearm, which just pegs in on the side. Really nice paint on this Green Lion, even more so than the Red Lion. It's just much kind of greener, almost like bottle green, and these have a very nice tint to them. We get that spinning wheel. These are incredibly sharp, and if anything on this set is going to break, I can see it being these spikes, but again made to a very high standard and very professionally done. We get the blade for the lion's mouth, just pegs in on the upper jaw, again done in that very nice bottle green, and these are pretty darn sharp as well. No health and safety there, although this is aimed at ages 6+ apparently. And then we get the very flexible tail for our lion, which can just peg on like so. And here we have the perfect pussycat in all its glory. I love how these pose. It's something about the contrast between the chrome and that pearlescent tinge that really makes these pop. Very impressed with how the Red Lion came out. To be honest with you, I think the Green Lion is equally as good, if not maybe slightly better. I think the joints do tend to feel a little bit more stiff, a little bit more solid. But not that there's anything wrong with the Red Lion. He came out remarkably well. I just think that the Green Lion, or maybe it's because the Green Lion hasn't had as much wear and tear as my Red Lion, I don't know, but either way, I am extremely excited for the next 3, and apparently, don't quote me, but apparently they're already in production, so we should be seeing them soon. So I did have that kind of big scare that these were going to be cancelled, like we got with the Gundams, but no, fingers crossed that these make it out to the market, because they are really good. And for someone who couldn't afford the original at the time and now trying to pay the aftermarket prices, these are definitely a much more affordable option. They're not cheap by any means, but they are cheaper than the aftermarket price for the original. And then let's take a closer look at our lion. Very well made indeed, really nice plastic. They've used very high end. It looks immaculate, it really does. There's a lot of spikes going on here. I'm going to end up stabbing myself, aren't I? So let's just remove, oh blimey, they are sharp. Remove these, and let's just remove the blade from the kitty's mouth. There we go. Right, let's see how articulated these pussycats are. The head can look up and down. It's actually on like a slider as well, so we've got this rotation at the neck, and then we've got this kind of sliding in and out, and then we've got the up and down, so you can get some nice quizzical tilting going on. We have the jaw that opens, we have the guns that can move up and down inside the jaw. The arms can come out, they are on a ball socket, I believe, so we tilt that inwards and outwards. We get a little bit of upwards motion, not a great deal though, and a little bit of downwards motion. Forward and backwards is no problem, but to be honest with you, that's kind of the only articulation that the lions in the show had. So bend the legs inwards and backwards. We have a paw hinge up and down. I would really like a ball mounted pivot on these paws, just so we can get that nice wide stance and a very natural feel to the feet. The torso can go up and down, or we can twist left and right at 2 points. The legs can come outwards and downwards, up and back. We have a bend on that knee. Again, we have up and down on the hind feet, but no pivot, and we get up and down on that tail, and we get all of this nice added articulation. And now we do get a pop-up section, which, to be honest with you, is one of the biggest drawbacks of this set, because it is a nightmare to get up the first couple of times. But there we go, we have that section that can pop up as well. And here we have our first 2 lions together. Oh, they're gonna be so good. The thing I like about the way these are designed originally, of course, is that they look great in both modes. Not only do they look fantastic posed as lions, of course they look incredible as Voltron. Now, transformation to the limb is fairly straightforward. I'm just going to remove these weapons and put those back in the box before I lose them, and because let's face it, it's me and I probably will lose them. This weapon only attaches one way. With the red lion, we got the ability to attach this either or. You got a tab on either side of the weapon, whereas this one, it only goes in the one way, but I suppose it doesn't really matter which way this goes in because the weapons are the same either side. But we collapse the legs and just push that into its housing, and if you notice, there's a small cutout on the underside here. That's where the feet sit, so pop that in and that just sits in there nicely. Same with the hind legs. Ooh, collapse backwards on itself. There we go, tab and push. The tail, you can actually keep these sections on. They slide down into the black line, but we bring this tab down so that the arm can come in like so. So the arm slides in, and something I forgot to do with the red line, which was pointed out to me, we lift that joint up. Now we have the range on there, and not only do we have that range, but we also get a really nice bend on that elbow. Now it's no longer hindered. When I had it still inside this section here, it was quite hindered, but yeah, now not so much. So we have that angle there, we have that rotation on the hand, again, that can come inwards or go outwards, and we have the ability to bend the arm upwards and downwards, and of course all the way around as well. So the articulation on Voltron is going to be more than adequate in my opinion, and I'm really looking forward to getting him fully combined up. To give you an idea of how he scales, it's probably one of the most random comparisons I've shown on my channel, but they're going to be pretty big. I mean, you look at Sky Shadow, for example, I mean, the arm's bigger than his, so we're going to be looking at least a leader size figure, and a nicely articulated one at that. So I honestly cannot wait. As soon as I hear anything about new lions being released, I'll let you guys know on my Facebook page. But until then, thank you all for watching. I've included a link to my red lion video over on the side there. In fact, you know what? I'm going to create a playlist, a fantasy duel playlist. So once all of these are up, watch them all as and when you decide to. Thanks again to TF Direct for sending this out, and thanks again to everybody who's currently supporting this channel. I wouldn't be able to do half the reviews I do now if it wasn't for you guys. If you would like to contribute towards the BensKOllectables or BensKOllectables, then I've also included a link to the Patreon page where you can have a little gander, and if it's for you, fantastic. If it isn't, then do not worry, just watch my content. Feel free to share and subscribe, and until next time, from myself and the Fantasy Duel Green Lion, goodbye.